It is Graham here, still living the dream in 2020, and if this trip to St Lucia ever goes ahead, my plan is to provide a video once a week on this channel from now until Christmas Eve. As I said, that is the plan, but please remember, this is 2020. Right, I'm back in the cupboard that I call an office here at home to tell you a little bit about what I'm trying to plan for the St Lucia 2020 series. And that little introduction video you've just seen came from YouTube, from Sandals, just showing you what to expect at the Sandals Grande Saint Lucian. There are some great little teaser videos from Sandals all over YouTube, and I suggest any of you interested in visiting Sandals should just go and look them up. As I keep saying, it is 2020 and the coronavirus pandemic has wreaked havoc to many lives globally, and of course it has wreaked havoc on the travel industry. So I have no idea whether this trip to St Lucia is actually going to go ahead or not, but if it does, as you saw last week, we're going to be staying at the Sandals Grande Saint Lucian right at the north of the island during October 2020. As I said last week, Fiona and I have visited the Sandals Grande Saint Lucian 4 times so far in 2013 through to 2016 before we started to try Sandals Grenada and of course the Grand Antigua last October. This trip in October 2020 was originally booked to the Sandals Halcyon St Lucia, but as most people who follow Sandals know, the only resort on the island of St Lucia that Sandals have opened this year or during October is the Grande Saint Lucian, so the Halcyon and Latoc are currently closed. For those of you who follow Fiona and I on a regular basis at Sandals, you will know that we love a walkout room. We love nothing better than to simply fall out of our room and into the swimming pool. And that's why at the Sandals Halcyon we'd booked a club level walkout room that you can see in these fantastic photographs from the Sandals website. However, at the Grand, the walkout rooms are not club level, and that gave us an amazing opportunity when the fantastic people at Sandals moved us from the Halcyon to the Grande Saint Lucian. We actually downgraded a room to a walkout room that is not club level, but this enabled us to extend the holiday from 7 nights to 11 nights. So as I said in the introduction to this video, my plan is to try and create enough content from this trip to St Lucia to provide a video every Thursday from now until Christmas Eve. My plan is to start with the usual trip reports, the first one being from Glasgow down to London Gatwick, where this year we're flying on EasyJet and staying at the Premier Inn rather than flying down in British Airways and staying at the Hilton, which we've done for years now. And then we continue our trip to St Lucia the next day from London Gatwick to St Lucia's Huonora International Airport on British Airways as usual. But this year, folks, unfortunately, I have not had enough Avios points, so I've had to pay for this flight. And yes, before you ask, we're travelling in the Club World cabin. It is, of course, October 2020, and we're still in the middle of the coronavirus pandemic, and I've got no idea what it's like to travel or even fly during these strange times. But in the next 2 videos, from Glasgow down to London and London over to St Lucia, I will bring you trip reports to show you the experience that Fiona and I had travelling during these strange times. And straight after the trip reports, I plan to publish my ever popular resort and room tour. And this is where I want to thank everybody who supported the channel over the years, because the resort and room tour from Sandals Grenada in 2018 has had nearly 6,000 views, and last year at the Sandals Grand Antigua there's been nearly 2,000 views already. Let's try and beat it this year with a resort and room tour from Sandals Grande Saint Lucian. As I said previously, we've actually managed to extend this trip from 7 nights to 11 nights. And on day 4 on the Saturday, we're going to be joined by Donna and Michael from right here in Glasgow, who also were at Sandals Grenada in 2017, 2018, and again in Sandals Grand Antigua last year, 2019. Right, between now and the first trip report from Glasgow down to London Gatwick, while Fiona and I are in St Lucia making memories and of course content for this channel, I wanted to create something that will at least keep this channel going while we're away enjoying everything that St Lucia and Sandals Grande Saint Lucia has to offer. And therefore, for a little bit of fun, I decided to try and recreate the flights from Glasgow down to London and then London to St Lucia in Flight Simulator. Bringing this video to a close, I want to provide you with the schedule that I have planned between now and the end of the year of videos from the St Lucia 2020 series. As I always say, these are my plans as they stand right now, and of course they're subject to change. So until those next videos, thanks very much for watching, and if you want to follow Fiona and I as we visit St Lucia for the 5th time and Sandals for the 8th time, don't forget to hit that subscribe button.